We are going to make some onion wine. We have this subscription that every other week we get a box sent to us with recipes and ingredients for 4 dinners, basically. So we make it and we eat it, and it's kind of nice to not have to plan ahead and make grocery shopping and things, at least every other week. But they insist on including onions and garlic, so I'm not going to use these buggers today either, but we are going to use the yellow onion, the red onions and the shallots. This is a banana shallot. We're going to make that wine because onions are disgusting, really. They are unfit for human consumption, but I gather that in case of fermentation and adding some sugar to them, it would be fine. There are a very few recipes where I actually use them, but I never use garlic. The problem isn't the garlic in itself, it's the people who are using them usually, because they can't just add a touch of garlic, they have to add a lot of garlic, which makes it totally uninteresting. The taste is garlic. You can as well eat a whole plate of horse manure with garlic. It would be the same culinary experience. And onions also have a tendency to take over the palate. You can instantly tell if you are eating something with onions. Try eating, for example, a hamburger with or without onion, and you will notice a difference, quite a bit of difference. And you smell like something that smells bad for quite a lot of time afterwards you have eaten them. To this onion wine I'm going to add some mulberries and some sugar, as well as some grapefruit juice. And we're going to ferment it in a 5 liters damajan. We are going to use an old-fashioned pan of cast iron, I believe it's called. I've had this forever. We usually make mussels in it, and sometimes I use it for other stuff as well. So we're going to let the onion caramelize in it. No butter or oil or anything, just the onion on fairly low heat for about an hour, maybe more. And then I'm going to add the mulberries and let it simmer for another hour, and then going to sieve it into the damajan. I've filled the organic sugar into the damajan. It should have been 1.5 kilos, but for some reason there was a little bit more left in a bag, so I have made some incorrect calculations somewhere some time. And this disgusting brew is standing here waiting to get hot. So I'll get back to you later. Progressing nicely, well, as nicely as these buggers can. The smell is totally disgusting. I can hardly be in the kitchen. My eyes are tearing up, and it smells like an old brothel in the kitchen. But anyway, soon time to add the mulberries, I think. Maybe another 10-15 minutes. The kiwi wine is bubbling away nicely. I stirred it the first day, after the day we brewed it, that is, and I stirred it once more 2 days after. So it should be bubbling for another week, I guess, and then we will rack it. Behind there you see another project that I probably have already mentioned. So I've added a liter of water and the mulberries, and I'm going to let this simmer for a while. It will simmer when it starts to boil. It will simmer for an hour. The grapefruit juice has been added. The reason some citrus fruit or juice or peel or whatever is added to wine is because of the citric acid. Because the citric acid will give the wine a certain freshness, you can say, that wouldn't appear otherwise. The drawback of it is that there are certain bacteria that like the acid and will grow in it and totally spoil your wine. And that is why I have chosen to use grapefruits most of the time, because I will get the citric acid and the usually pretty neutral taste of grapefruit, as opposed to using lemons with higher concentration of citric acid, or oranges, which will or might affect the taste of the wine in a way I wouldn't want to. It's been around 40 minutes. It's starting to look quite soaked, quite ready actually. The mulberries are back to their original size almost, and it doesn't smell as bad as it did. Let it simmer for another 20 minutes. So it's time to pull this from the stove and pour it into there. Yeah, we'll see whatever this will taste like when it's done. And there you have it. The original gravity was 126. Which is okay. It will be a fairly strong wine, but that's the way it is. I'm going to pitch the yeast or add it to the vessel. I really should have made a starter button. Yeah. I'm using, see if you can see it here, fruit schnapps yeast. It goes up to 18 ABV, or alcohol by volume, and 126 shouldn't reach that high, so we should be fine. On the other hand, nature is nature. Sometimes the yeast doesn't make it all the way, and sometimes it can produce a bit higher alcohol content than what it says. So I'm going to put an airlock on and place this in room temperature somewhere a little bit dark.